Ever wondered what it's like to have a fight so bad with your mom that even the FBI wants to take a look? I can tell you, it's not pretty, but it's where I learned that sometimes love needs a bending and a lot of forgiveness. During the epidemic, my old school life was boring and halfway classes. I was eager to find a new direction, so in grade and I went to study in Canada. My life at school went well at first, but then there was a mental turmoil, and my life was in a rut. Eventually, the school decided to have my mom fly to Canada to take care of me. The school did not allow me to live on campus due to safety reasons, and that really got on my skin. My mom ran to the house near the school and was speaking to school every day. I hated school at that time, and one day I just felt like I couldn't survive another second at that place. So I went back to the house right after lunch. Mom crushed me angry. She thought I could at least give it a try by just staying there. You don't even have to study. Just stay there. But I was too angry to give her a satisfying answer. On Wayan came back early and she was ready to beat the crap out of me. And that's what she did. I did the worst thing possible by returning a punch. And she couldn't believe it. She got upstairs. I left. I was walking in the opposite direction of the school. I was so angry at it. At that moment, my mind went blank. I just had an uncontrollable urge to let my emotion out, and I thought I could survive on my own outside. It was a very lovely ordinary countryside with grass, a clear blue sky, and horses. But I was in the whole different world. I just couldn't feel anything but desperation, and because the fight left some marks on my face. People passing by would pull over and ask if I needed any help. I said no to all of them, but there were this one lady who kept pulling over, and finally she stopped, got off the car, and asked a bunch of questions. And she saw the school uniform I was wearing, and she said she would call to school. So I turned back, headed home. After I got home, Mom was crying. I wasn't sure how she felt, and she got hit by her aunts and found out he left them without a message, leaving both of them alone in this country. She barely knew about. I then found out she called my dad back in China while he was sleeping, and from his tone, it sounded like he already knew what had happened and was anxious. He asked me where I was and told me to hurry back. I felt a twinge of warmth inside, but it was hard to tell now. It didn't take long for the school to call my mom and ask us to go to the school health center immediately. And so we came out with a story of me falling over trying to cover up the mark on my face. But there were fingernail scratches on my head as well, so the health center didn't buy the story. Are you freaking FBI or something? Leave us alone. I couldn't be more desperate at that time. And then the head of the center took me to a room and took me out of it. Once I was down and didn't want to go to school. She checked my pulse and said, "Are you uneasy? Your heart rate is low." I know she was being nice, but the feeling of being recognized was centrally precious for me at that time. Anyways, at last she got the answer and we were free to go. It must have been my inadequacy that put too much pressure on me. So now I'm going to enrich myself, strengthen my inner world, and just be your keeper. The BL in a gazing at you says, "Mom, looking back, now I feel relieved and I'm just fortunate to have a family that loves and supports me unconditionally. Now I'm able to put myself in my mom's shoes, and the struggle she has faced seemed unfathomable when we were living together in Canada. She had to work through the whole nights on weekends because of the time difference between China and Canada. and she held herself responsible by taking care of me. At my knee, she worked because she knew she had to as a grown woman and the mother, a part of me wished I could go back to comfort her. But I know that my condition was too bad to do. So, and that suffering only serves us to strengthen us. I've trans. I've transferred from school to school too many times, mostly because of my own action. So there were multiple locations. My family still have my back every time. I mess up now. We've all taken a huge leap and accepted each other much better. We never fought again. And now, more than ever, I can sense their love for me, and that's because we know what it means to accept and cherish love. Lastly, to my fellow travelers on this journey, good luck, especially those of you we facing tough times. Remember this: you are never alone. The people you love, even if you're lost with them, are your nurse in the store. Take the time to connect with them, to understand each other, and to forgive, and don't forget to take care of yourself. Find your own space, take a breather, go for a stroll, but maybe not as far as I did. So let's move on with the knowledge that struggles can make us stronger, and that love with his bendy and lots of forgiveness is the most resilient force in the universe. Thank you.